Giggs. Giggs. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I'm a cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep me real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. Welcome to Rhodri Giggs and Football. Rhodri will be on in just a minute. He's having a few technical issues this evening, but he'll be here in minutes. 20, 15. I reckon he's panicking because he hasn't done his Newport versus Man United research for the deep dive preview. But we'll see how it goes. Welcome to you all. Glad to see you all back as always. We'll be talking all things football from a range of subjects, of course, including the Championship, the Premier League, the FL Cup. But our main focus this evening is the Newport Manchester United game. The main reason for this is a Welsh team. Rhodri's a Man United fan, and I thought it would be cool to have a deep dive into a lower league club and see how they can potentially find a way to beat Manchester United. Obviously, they made a big signing this week as well, which is equally interesting. In the meantime, as we wait for some latecomers, wait for Rhodri as well. We won't wait too long for him. We'll crack on. Let's do the charity updates and. Of course, we do Fantasy Premier League. We do the Super Six, raising money for great charity. It's basically the Evo show this week. Evo topped the FPL this week with 85 points. He also topped the Super Six League with 17 points. But a few regulars came close in the Super Six. The main man himself, Big Bob Boyle, came second. Donna Perry and James Costley in the chasing pack. But in terms of my battle with Rhodri, the FPL is very one-sided. I still haven't even logged in since the start. I've got 878 points. I'm 48th. Rhodri's got 1,039, 39th. There's a 161-point gap. The Super Six Prediction League is much, much closer. I scored 11 points this week. Rhodri scored 8, giving me a total of 226 and him a total of 30, meaning the point gap is only 4 points, which means yet again it's neck and neck between the two of us. And if we really get our act together now and have a couple of good weeks, we could be pushing for those promotion places. You never know. Next round of the Super Six is Saturday, but the FPL isn't until Tuesday due to the FA Cup games this weekend. And as always, little plug, I guess. Tomorrow night, I am dropping a new podcast with former Cardiff City midfielder Mark Bonner, which we filmed a couple of weeks back, which is a really fun one, really good one. He's very honest, a good crack. Podcast and a pint with ex-Cardiff City midfielder Mark Bonner. So do check that out. That's 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Please check it out. Please go and have a good old nose, share it about, all that, all the usual stuff, basically. And of course, we announced another Cardiff City Legends event, 10th of May at the Rose and Crown Pub in Pontypridd, 8 o'clock start. Cardiff City legend Willie Boland makes his triumphant return to Wales as we talk to him about his career. He answers your questions. And as with the previous events, it will prove to be an absolute belter. A cracking night. Obviously, we did Darren Pearce, Michael Chopra, and Andy Campbell before Christmas. And we've got Willie Boland coming up now on the 10th of May. So please do get involved. And 10th of May, £10 a ticket. Nice and easy to start. Here he is, the man himself, Mr. Rhodri Giggs. Unfortunately, you missed the charity league update, mate. But it was painful for you this week anyway. So I'm sure you.
Who's ahead, though, me?
Essentially, you are marginally ahead, which is embarrassing considering how far ahead you were previously.
He broke up. Then who's ahead?
No bottle, mate. Of you. That's the problem. When you get ahead, you just come to pieces. But there we go.
Who's still ahead?
That's what you get with these big time Charlies, mate, isn't it? And that takes us nicely into Newport County versus Manchester United. We're going to give it a good old preview this evening in the FA Cup this Sunday. Newport made a very interesting signing this week. I've been really, I'm impressed with that as a signing, right? Luke Jeff got a sign for Newport from Scottish team. He's got a really good goal scoring record, and I think in the league particularly, he could be a real clever signing. So well done to Newport. They got a couple of decent players within their squad, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Generally speaking, mate, if you were setting up Newport to go up against this Manchester United side, obviously they got their keeper out and a couple of others maybe coming back, and they may rotate a couple or whatnot, although I think they'll go pretty strong. Like, how would you set Newport up in terms of tactically, and how would you try and get a win against this United side?
Nice and compact. Don't give anything away early. And obviously, you would think it would work on the set pieces, because United ain't great at set pieces. So you'd think they would spend most of the week practicing on them, because they could pay off.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if United do put Casemiro straight back in, because I think defensively and offensively, he makes a massive difference to their set plays. Like, if you look at their set plays last year, I think he scored several goals from those headers arriving late. But he also defensively did him a massive favour, and they don't look the same threat without him in the side. I think, look, let's start with United, and then we'll move on to Newport. I think United will set up in the strongest team possible, apart from the keeper, who's obviously away. I think if my predicted 11 would be Bayern in goals, unless he goes with Tom Heaton. But I think he'll go with Bayern. There's been a lot of reports about him doing well in certain aspects away from the first team. So I think he'll get his chance. And I think you'll see Dalot and Wan-Bissaka either side. Varane and Martinez, Casemiro, Mainu, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford and Højlund. I think that's the side. They're only going to be playing one game a week, mate, for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So there's no need to rotate. Maybe you put in someone like an Amad Diallo and give Garnacho a rest, because he's played a lot recently. But outside of that, I don't see them making a great deal of changes.
I don't see that happening, because he's Newport will be a big, strong, physical team. So, and Diallo's a bit, not soft, but he's not the biggest and tallest. So, but that might go against him, quick, nippy, But
then he played in the Championship last year, didn't he? So arguably, if it does get a bit physical and a bit in your face, you could argue that Diallo
I might be a bit more. I think because he has come from the Italian league as well. So that might be just me talking crap, to be honest. But it's just an idea.
But yeah, I just think, like, if anything, he might have a bit more experience at that type of, like, in-your-face football or whatever you want to call it, because obviously he played a season with Sunderland in the Championship. But like I said, United have got one game a week for the rest of the season, effectively. So I do not see any reason why they'd rotate. They're going to want to get Casemiro and Martinez up to speed. It's a good game to do that. And also, they need them. ultimately. They need those two players to get the best out of some of the others, I think. From a United point of view, they will want to start fast, get an early goal, settle the nerves. Because if they get an early goal, that's when it becomes very difficult for Newport, because then Newport have got to come out of their shell and they've got to come and get, try and score goals and whatnot. And that's when United are probably, even this United side, which have been a bit up and down this year, the games where they have looked better is when teams, or when they can play on the counter-attack effectively.
Yes, but they should have some players back. Played a game yesterday against Burnley, I think it was, behind closed doors. Maguire, Lucho, Martinez, a few others played in it. So they've had a game under the belt, so you'd think they would play some part in it. Just get them by getting them straight in the team, because Maguire would be perfect for that game. Just heads everything.
So would you put Maguire in ahead of Varane or Martinez, or would you try and reunite them two as quick as possible?
I will put Maguire and Martinez in.
Yeah, I could see the logic to that, even though I think, Varane has been one of the better players in recent weeks. I agree with you. Like, it suits Maguire, doesn't it? We've said before on many occasions that he is at his best when he's defending his own box and he's not being turned around and getting in behind and whatnot. So yeah, equally, like we're saying, United, if they get an early goal, that'll settle them and that'll make it difficult for Newport. But I think also, if Newport were to get an early goal from a set piece or, whatever, I think that could equally make those nerves in United go a little bit, because they haven't been at their best this year. They have had some issues, and this team has got a mentality which sometimes when things get tough, they fall apart. There's something in them, like, generally speaking. Do you agree with that, or am I being?
I do, but I just don't see it against the League Two club. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't either. They've got it in them, mate. And when you've got it in you, it's difficult to be fully confident in this United side, especially this year where they've kind of struggled. But ultimately, mate, they're all internationals. They should be beating a League Two side. Like, I know, like last week you joked that you were setting yourself up to have egg on your face, but like, let's be realistic. United should be beating Newport County comfortably. End of.
And I believe they will do.
Yeah, I like, it's difficult to go against that. I got it.
Have you got next round?
We're having a week off, mate.
Who knocked you out then? Was you knocked out last round?
Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it? In that shower of shite, that shower of shocking performance.
Sorry. That's not me winding you up either. I thought you were still in it.
You're not funny. You're not funny. So yeah, I mentioned Luke Jeffcott has signed for Newport this week. A Welsh under-21 international. Or he was. He is a goal scorer, and it wasn't that long ago that there was a lot of people calling for him to be in the Welsh squad. I don't know whether he could play against United. He signed in plenty of time.
Is he a cup tied?
No, he's come from St. Johnston, so
I
don't think it carries over, does it, from there?
No.
So it'll be interesting because he's a big boy. He's young. He's quick.
They've lost 11 games this season. Mind you, United have lost more. So
Newport is strange the way their season has kind of fallen, because sometimes I've watched them and they look real good. They play some good stuff, and they look like they could perhaps get in that promotion conversation. And then another week you'll watch them and it's a bit rough, like.
No, you know what that league's like though. But there's a lot that get promoted there, and they're only 8 points off the playoffs.
Yeah, that's it.
In the mid-table, but they're what are they off relegation? They're 12 points off relegation and 8 points off playoff. So they're in mid-range, aren't they?
It's very similar to the Championship in that almost everyone can beat everyone in that little pocket. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're running away, unless you're running away with it, they seem to be like most teams. The results are just very up and down. The form's very up and down. And it's so weird. Like, why does the FA Cup throw up so many shocks every year? Like, what is it about that competition that shows up more shocks than any other competition?
I think it's, it shouldn't, but you get a lot of players that are coming in to play that haven't played, not match fit, and you're playing against a team that are just on it on the day.
Do you think it's like the rotation thing? Do you think
100%,
Premier League teams?
100%, yeah.
And I guess
some teams not going in mentally prepared.
Yeah, I mean, if United turn up, for instance, on Sunday and they think, it's going to be a walk in the park, it's going to be easy. That's where the problems can arise because obviously, Newport will be up for it, the fans will be up for it. There's not 20,000 there, but there's going to be the 1,000.
What's this new standard? 300.
Wouldn't be going in that, mate. You wouldn't see me in there. Woo. Don't like these temporary stands, though, me. So I don't, mate. If I don't trust roller coasters, there's no chance of me trusting.
Yeah, I swore I wouldn't go on roller coaster. But obviously, I went on a trip last year with work. Went to Alton Towers and got roped on some of them. And oh my god,
mate, wouldn't catch me in them. Never ever.
Flashbacks then, but no, So
I was just looking at Luke Jephcott's scoring record. He scored 33 in 106 appearances for Plymouth before he made a move to St Johnstone. During that time, he also had a loan spell at Swindon where he scored 7 in 30. He does score goals, however,
it's 1 in 3, isn't it? 1 in 3.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is, in St Johnstone, he's been since 2023. He's played 8 games and hasn't scored a goal. For Wales under 19s, he had 7 goals, 4 games. For Wales under 21s, he had 12 and 4 and 12. He does score goals if he's playing well and he's comfortable where he is, but he also has a tendency to have these dry spells. There was a massive clamorance for him to be in the Wales squad. Literally, probably I'd go back a year ago. Like, people were saying he should be in there, give him a chance. Maybe he hasn't had that same form since, but he's young, mate. He's only 23. From a Newport point of view, I think it's a cracking signing. I gotta say that. I think for the league form, particularly, good signing that is. Like, strengthens the squad. Everything which you want from a striker in January, mate. On strikers in January, any sign of any signings for Manchester United coming in, do you think?
No, nothing. Not anything. Maybe a striker, but just
they got linked to Callum Wilson today, which is absolute wibble. That's never going to happen for a whole multitude.
There's all sorts, but don't take any notice of it. Just read it to occupy the time, but don't take much credence into it.
But that, the Callum Wilson one, makes no sense whatsoever, because obviously, one, Newcastle even if Newcastle, need to balance their books for financial fair play, right? Even if that's the case, they're still not going to sell Callum Wilson to United for 18 million. Someone they're competing with for the top 4 place. It's just not going to happen. And then would United sign someone of Callum Wilson's age? I don't know exactly how old he is off the top of my head, but I think he's mid to late 20s.
It's not happening. This new regime coming in, and the first signing is Wilson. Come on, mate. It's not going to happen. No. Unless it's a signing, which I doubt it's going to happen, it's going to be in the summer because their first signing will be a good signing. It's got to be.
See, I think I don't think necessarily it'll be like a big name, like a Galactico signing. I think it's more likely to be the right player.
Yeah.
Were you impressed with United's CEO appointment? Pinching Man City's.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of decisions to be made, so this seems to be going in the right step. So yeah, which is a long way from getting
some more reports.
It's positive steps because if you read the background into this fella, he's no mug and he knows what he's doing. So we'll see.
Yeah, there was some reports today that Dan Ashworth from Newcastle might be done as well, but that's a weird one. You have to wait and see. But do you know what interests me about that CEO from Man City going there is what is to say that he can now turn witness against Man City because he's now Man United CEO, yeah? So in their financial fair play case, what's to stop him going and spilling beans?
Well, he's not the money guy, is he? He just gets the players now.
But he's involved. Like he's high up in the organisation.
He's involved. He'll have to suffer the consequences, won't he? But surely we're not going to make the same mistakes.
Would you think not? Wouldn't you?
Well, exactly.
When they announce Ineos,
he's part of that. Then he's going to have to pay the piper, aren't he, when it comes out, if he is, because there's a lot of paperwork to go through. So I'm sure if he is involved, his name will be all over it.
Here's the thing then. Also, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this off the top of your head. What's to stop? Because Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has he bought that stake in United or have Ineos bought it? Like, is it him as an individual or is it
Ineos in it?
So I was going to say, could Ineos not sponsor United shirts for?
Well, yeah, they could, but they've already got a sponsorship in place, and that's not
like
going to be
a world record deal.
It's going to be like a 3, 4, 5 year deal. I'm pretty sure they did a deal with Adidas for 10 years. So they've done the other deals, the long term ones, and that's how they can get more money for it. But then they're tied into it.
Yeah, I suppose. I was just thinking.
Inflation by the time the deal comes to an end. But is it worth it because you're getting very good money now for the next 3 or 4 years, but then by inflation in 10? So it can have its benefits, but it can have its downfalls as well.
So will we see the new Ineos training complex very soon, which will be funded at like overly priced funding so that they can cook the books?
Where will that be? They're building a new training ground.
Yeah, well, I read somewhere they were going to build it. I can't remember I'll find out where it was now. Because you know what my geography is like. There was a place where it was supposed to be going. They named.
It's not Carrington where it is. It's not the same place then.
No, it was something Worth. I'm sure it was.
What?
I'm sure it ended in Worth, Chestworth, or so. I don't fucking know. I'll find out now. So. Yeah, see, I know you don't give Newport a chance. Do you think set pieces is the way to go for Newport? Because obviously, if I was Newport's coach, I'd have been working on set pieces all week this week because United at both ends have looked absolutely appalling from set pieces.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? Because they're weak and Tottenham scored one against them 6-yard box, but be a different keeper this time. So this keeper might be different. He might come for it, be a bit more braver. So they might plan for all these things, have it thinking, but always seeing an arm in there. And this keeper might be, coming out. You never know. So, but then again,
he looked all right against Wales. This keeper, Bayern. I thought I wouldn't say he was.
He's a decent keeper. So, he might play Tom Eaton though.
Yeah, I mean that would be a big blow, wouldn't it, to this Bayern? He's waited patiently, and then
we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
But with Bayern, what'll be interesting is if Newport target him, because obviously if he does play, it's not just that he's finally getting his chance. It'll be his debut for United. Like he will, will there be nerves there? Will he be under a bit of pressure? FA
Well,
Cup
there's
is
definitely nerves there, so you put it on him early on, don't you? But it's if they as if they get the opportunities.
yeah, and that's where United have got to keep the ball and really they've got to be professional, mate, haven't they? Swansea.
If you Newport, you want it raining, coming sideways, windy.
Well, actually, the weather has been awful this week up here. Like really bad.
Yeah, it's not been great here either.
Cheshire, something about Cheshire Golf Club was the rumor about the new training complex.
Cheshire Golf Club. Where's that?
Yeah, I have no idea where that is. Cheshire, I assume.
Yeah, but Cheshire's a big place. It's a county Cheshire, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that. I don't know where it is though, mate. But I'm not sure. I don't know if it's rumors or whatever. But then they've just spent. Haven't they just spent
a Cheshire golf course? It's just obviously a golf course in Manchester.
Manchester Evening News. Let me see. The owners.
I know my golf. I played every golf course around here. In Cheshire golf course. The golf course in Cheshire.
Yeah, it's just Manchester Evening News are incapable of.
That could be anywhere. Could be
together a normal.
Could be
Highley Park Golf Club.
Highley. Right. Yeah, I got you. I know where that is.
So, how far is that in terms of Old Trafford and Carrington?
It's Warrington. It's Warrington. It's Highley is Warrington. It's on the verges of. It's like in the middle, but it's more where they all live, near where they all live. To be honest, all of the edge, Wimslow. No, it's probably 15 minutes from there.
Well, there you go. That's the rumor. But then haven't they just spent like 7 million on updating Carrington for the women's team? Like recently.
Yeah, well, that's where the women will probably stay, won't they?
Yeah, I suppose. I guess.
And they've got a big academy, but really, should they all be together?
It should be right. Just want to have a quick look at some of Newport's recent results and form. As soon as my computer loads it up. Excuse me. Newport County, come on, man. PC's been rank. I think Newport are going to win 2-1 anyway, mates. That's my prediction.
Si's been on it. Si's been on the mushrooms.
You laugh now, mates. You won't be laughing, will you?
Would you want to bet?
When they smash them.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Just a friendly bet. Yeah, just a friendly bet. Don't want to take all you don't, do I? Friendly.
So their form has been like literally, it's like very up and down. So, like, for instance, it's just like win, loss all the time. But then that seems like, well, I was just going back then to like last season. It was very much the same last year. Like they seemed to either win or lose. There was no in between. So like a couple of days before Christmas, they lost 2-0 to Wrexham away. And then they drew and then beat Barnet 4-1 away. Then they lost, then they drew. It's like, it's really like there's no run of form. Like there's no run of wins. But they did beat Wrexham recently. Last Saturday, they beat Wrexham 1-0 at home. They've won 3 on the bounce now. Unbeaten in 5. The form is there to beat United. Come on, Newport County. The Welsh boys are coming. The atmosphere will be good, mate. And then it's, United players should be able to handle that. They've been to Turkey this year, haven't they? To play Champions League games. So you'd think a couple of thousand at Newport shouldn't be too much of an issue, should it? So the Wrexham game was a sellout, and there was, where's the crowd? Doesn't say.
All they'll be saying is, let's be professional. Can you hear that tapping? That's the washing machine, that. You hear it?
Gonna blow us in vaguely.
Yeah, so it's got to be professional. That's all that we said. Just be professional. You do your job and be professional. And it'll be a comfortable win. You go in here thinking you're going to turn them over, it's just going to be easy. It's not. It'll be in your face. It'll be hard. It'll be not the great of surroundings because it will be windy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just get the ball on the ground and just try and get an early goal. They get an early goal, there'll be a long afternoon for the old county Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. Friend of the channel, James Clark, playing in central defence for Newport these days. I'm going to try and get him on soon. He's been on before, of course, and it'd be interesting to see how he plays. A former Warsaw captain. United should win, let's face it. We'll do our predictions and stuff later on, mate. But just having a quick look if there was anything else about Newport or United. You are? Done yours?
Just done mine then, yeah.
Thomas Partey back. So switch into the Premier League. Thomas Partey's back in full training for Arsenal. That's is that a good or a bad thing?
Don't know. Depends on the chat. Yeah, possibly.
They won. They stopped the rot, mate. On Saturday, Arsenal did. They stopped that horrific run of losses. That was the main thing.
Yeah, played well.
Looked good for it.
Yeah, looked well.
Did you see? You know the that coach which got sacked for kissing the female player after they won.
Yeah. He wasn't a coach. He was the president of Spain.
Whatever it was, president. Was he the president or was Football Federation president? Wasn't it? Spanish.
Factual on this show.
Well, that's what you're here for, mate. Is the fact. Well, did you know that a Spanish judge has said that he should stand trial and they should take him to court and prosecute him? It's getting out of hand, mate. Getting way out of hand. I'll tell you what now. Way out of hand.
Can his mum barricade herself in the church?
It's mate.
She barricaded somewhere. She did something. I went in a hunger strike. I don't know. She did something.
Yeah,
but she's still laughing while he's doing it. Like, they're both laughing at each other while doing it.
Yeah, it's outrageous, mate. No, I think it's absolutely outrageous.
He's left. They've got what they wanted. Come on, let's move on from it.
Leave the guy alone, like, innit?
Yeah, let's just move on from it. It's a uncomfortable affair. It's just uncomfortable. Just move on.
It was an error in judgment, wasn't
it? Yeah. Just in a moment of joy.
Yeah, in like just adrenaline and.
But the woke brigade spoke, and there we go.
And this is what it like.
Don't get me wrong, you shouldn't have done it, but
of course I know. We all know that. But it's like if it was two blokes, would anyone have raised an eyelid in the height of?
No. But if you say equality, if it was a girl,
two girls,
yeah,
no one would have given a shit.
Oh.
And I don't know. Look, he shouldn't have done it. He apologized. Blah blah blah. That he lost his job. That should have literally been the end of it. But to see judges and people still trying to use this guy to further their own careers, I think is.
We don't want to see. We don't want to know the details. If he stopped the tonguing or anything like that, we just want to move on.
Just
need to move on. Judges get involved. Come on, what are we dealing with here? Come on. It was about 6 months ago. It was last year.
Grow up is what I say. Here's one for you. Is financial fair play scaring football clubs into not making any moves in January?
No,
it is eerily quiet, mate.
Well, they're probably cooling the jets and looking at the books and seeing, right, what can we do? We don't want to be getting 10 points deduction. So, where are we in the table? What do we need? Can we afford it? If we can't, batten the hatchets down, stick the helmet on, and we go to the end of the season. But yeah, people obviously crossing the T's and dotting their I's and making sure where they're at financially. So, and there's a lot of money being spent recklessly as well. So, people are probably, thinking if there's nothing there, it's never a good time to buy anyway in January, unless you really, really, really need to, and you got injuries or need to bring loans in or whatever. It's never a good idea.
Yeah, and I think if you're forcing football clubs to cut their cloth accordingly, I think it has a massive effect on clubs lower down the league. If owners gamble, we saw it with Cardiff years ago, like they gamble on promotion, things go wrong.
Yeah, it's like the only time I can remember United being successful was a loan, Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
And the same window on January was they bought Evra and Vidic.
Yeah, true. Didn't they bring Larsson back twice as well, like the year after as well?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I thought they brought him back twice. Might be wrong with that.
But yeah. They're the ones offhand I can think of who worked over 25 years of watching United.
Yeah, I don't think there's many like January sort of signings which really you think wow, or they turn out well. Like you look at Sanchez went to United, that was like awful the way that turned out. Like it was just never worked, did it? Yeah, no, and like Henrik Larsson, right? We all regard it as a success, yeah? I think that's fair to say. He played 7 games, scored 1 goal. So on paper, he didn't really do a lot.
Champions League.
In total, mate, it says 7 games, 1 goal.
Really? Is that all he played?
I will check that in another website now. But it's probably
he played more than 7 games, mate.
Yeah, I thought he scored more than 1 goal as well. But I'm gonna go clarify it now. We'll check.
Yeah, that's false. That.
Yeah, no, I can see he scored on his debut against Villa in the FA Cup, and then he scored in the Premier League against Watford. So the own page is talking out of his ass. But because I remember him having a really good spell at United, and I think he contributed to them winning the league that year, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Is he in a management game? No, he's not. Yeah, no. Look, January is like a shite time to buy, innit? Like overall. Right. Overall appearances.
13
and 3. Yeah, that's more like it.
3, yeah.
So you don't think FFP is scaring teams off from spending?
No, like I say, that
you just think it's a shit time to spend, generally speaking.
Yes, and people are probably looking at that and saying, how much have we got to spend? Is it worth it? No, is it worth it in the long run? So this is probably just, like I say, put people on notice, cool the jets a bit, and just say, if we need someone, we'll go and get someone on loan or whatever. But at the minute, it's not a good time to buy. We'll revisit in the summer, especially with this FFP floating about. Most teams might be on the limits. So
that's true. Yeah, and I think especially when you think it's done on the year before, isn't it? Like the year before spending.
Is it over 3 years?
Yeah, I think it's 3 years previous, isn't it? So wouldn't the COVID, was it 23, 22, 21? When was COVID? 2021, wasn't it?
2020.
2020.
March 2020 it started.
So that period would have or it would have ended around the start of this current FFP period.
Wasn't that
which means that teams,
like everyone locked up and wearing masks for the cold.
Crazy, mate, isn't it? Isn't it mad though when you look back on it? Like everything just shut down. Wild, mate. Wild. Power of the news.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the football that took place this week. Bournemouth are currently 5-0 up against Swansea at halftime. 5-0. Poor old Swansea.
Swansea struggling though, aren't they?
Yeah, shite.
5-0, this Lanky got.
Wheels are falling off.
Brooks has scored.
Good. So we had the EFL Cup semi-finals, his second legs this week. Liverpool beat Fulham 3-2 on aggregate, although they drew the actual game. Did you watch it?
No. Watch bits of it. Watch bits of it.
I think everyone expected it to be a Chelsea-Liverpool final, really, didn't they? We're considering who the opposition were and stuff like that. Although Chelsea particularly impressive with a 6-1 win over Middlesbrough, I think that's noteworthy because Chelsea are just starting to get a little bit of...
They'll get better, mate. Got a really, really good coach, and they're dealing with...
Got some good young footballers,
and get his coaching system implemented in the way he's playing and get a goal score, and they'll be back soon.
Yeah, they the one thing which they won 3 on the bounce in the league as well, but the one thing which I look at with that Chelsea squad is it's full of young.
So that's where you're getting your consistency.
Yeah, and that's where if Poch is as good as everyone says he is, he gets that consistency from them gradually over the next year or two as they learn his system, they learn his tactics. Everyone keeps telling me that he's this, one of the best coaches in the game. He's got a squad now, which, I'd argue that the squad he's got now is probably the best squad he's ever had in terms of balance and youth. Whereas when he was at PSG, he might have had, Messi and Neymar and that, but rubbish. Old egos, the rest of it. Whereas I'd argue now he's got a good balanced squad. They're young. They could stay together for the next 5-6 years and dominate. If he's as good as everyone tells me, then he'll get the best out of him. If he's not and he's overrated, then he'll be sacked by the summer. Matthew says, talking about golf earlier, what's Rhodri's handicap? Should do an Ace Nation golf day. Handicap 5. Rhodri's a baller when it comes to the old golf.
I haven't played for a while, but that's coming down this summer.
Do you tend to play more in the summer? You don't do much in the winter, do you?
No, but because I work now, because obviously I don't finish work till 3-4 o'clock, so it's dark at 4 o'clock. So in the summer, I can go after work. Yeah, but I'll be down to 2 this summer. Come visit me this time next year, and I'll be 2.
There we go. Reese just said, did anyone see the German coach who tried to claw at Serge Gnabry in Germany? I haven't seen it, but I'm going to have a little look now. I hadn't seen what happened.
And for confirmation, if people don't believe about the handicap, I am on my England app, England Golf, so check it out and you'll find it there.
No one believes you, mate. Your handicap is
not 5. Go and have a look
36.
on my handicap. Friend request me and you'll see it. Bosh.
He's 36. Is Rhodri 36? He's a beginner.
That's 36 shots is 9 holes usually for me.
36 that's what he is. He's lying. He's a beginner, really.
Right.
Been playing all these years and he's still a beginner.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the mentality for it, you see. He gets all nervous, sweaty palms, and just the ball goes anywhere. Ball goes anywhere.
I don't get nervous.
Do you think we see any late moves in the transfer window in terms of the Premier League? Do you think anyone makes?
Yeah, you're going to see some movement at the end. At the end, you always do, but nothing daft, I don't think.
I think. I think United. I think we'll get a couple of loans in before the window's closed, and I think Chelsea will have I think Chelsea and Arsenal will both at least make a bid for Ivan Toney. I don't think they'll get him, but I think they'll ask the question. Outside of that, I don't see many big moves unless someone in the Premier League decides that it's worth paying Benzema's wages for 6 months to get 6 months out of him. He's on like 800 grand a week though, so I don't know how any Premier League club can do that and stay within financial fair play. But there are certain clubs who don't seem to care about financial fair play. Chelsea and Man City, I'm looking at you. So maybe they will get Benzema in for 6 months and just say balls to it. Who knows? Right. Let's do some Super 6 predictions, mate. Because I got a really bad headache and it's taking my speech away. Taking my breath away.
You drink some water, mate. Get your fluids in.
I think it is that. That's why I got a little glass of water.
You need to net that, mate. Water's key.
Just like a pain, but it's like every now and again, just taking my breath away. Right, predictions this week, mate. I'll go for
like your FPL score, your bottom league, your bottom feeder.
Yeah, it's just like it's like shuddering.
You're still behind me on Super 6.
Only just, mind. I gave you a chance to get away, and you couldn't get away.
I'm keeping it close for the viewers. Once we get to championship rounds, it'll be adios. Side.
Well, we've seen what happens when you get into the championship rounds. The last 2 seasons, mate, haven't we?
Yeah.
You fade away into the darkness. Right, I'll go first. Sheffield United versus Brighton in the FA Cup. I'll go Sheffield United 1, Brighton 3.
2-1 Sheffield United.
You do the next one. Everton versus Luton.
Everton, Luton. 2-0 Everton.
2-1 Everton. I've gone. Leicester versus Birmingham.
3-1 Birmingham. 3-1 Leicester, sorry.
I've gone 3-2 Leicester. But Leicester have hit a bit of a rocky patch, and Birmingham have hit a really good spell with the new manager. So that's going to be a close one.
Beating the last game?
Who?
Birmingham.
Birmingham? They beat Stoke in their last game. 2-1.
All right.
Come on, get your bloody facts
I'm
right,
just checking who's on it. Go on.
This is what you're here for.
I was checking you was on it. Go on. Next one.
Fulham versus Newcastle. You go.
Two. Replay.
I gone 1-1.
Oh, you're fucking joking.
Already done mine. Just reading it.
No. Go on, next one. You.
West Brom versus Wolves. I've gone 2-1 West Brom.
I'm going 2-1. What, you gone 2-1 West Brom?
Yeah.
2-1 Wolves. Black Country Derby, that.
Indeed. I've gone, we got Liverpool versus Norwich next.
4-1.
You
Liverpool.
That's what I had 4-1. So I'll change it for the sake of fairness, and I'll change it to 5-1 to Liverpool. Just because I don't want to hear these complaints from you.
No problem.
Copying me all the time.
I give you 4-1.
Jesus. Yeah, Leicester have hit a bit of a rocky spell, mate, over the last couple of weeks. Do you think that's just maybe a bit of tiredness, or because they're still in a couple of cups and whatever?
You always have a little dip in the season, and tunes you in and focuses you for the running. No, let's not blow this now. Come on, and
it's after that Christmas period as well, isn't it? Like that busy Christmas period. Everyone's a bit run down and
hectic in it, but it's like Championship. It's difficult as well. Every game is difficult. So, but they've been a standout team so far. But I think it's just a little blip, and then they'll probably kick on. At Southampton look strong, and Leeds are nicking wins now. They beat Leeds last night.
I was going to say Leeds.
Twitch is still there. Let's not forget. So it's a four team race for 2 spots in it. Obviously, the other 2 will be in the playoffs. But then 4 is going to be I think Leicester will blow them away, but then 3 for just one spot. So
yeah, and like a 7-point gap for Leicester is a nice cushion in it. Like you'd expect them.
It's key now when they all play each other. It's key that you don't get beat.
Yeah. I wonder what the next league game is. So Leicester have got Birmingham in the FA Cup, and then they play Swansea. So they got a nice easy win there on Tuesday. But you've also got like Leeds have won 4 on the bounce. Southampton have won 4 of the last 5 and haven't lost in a while. You've got Coventry down in 6th, who have won 4 out of the last 5 and beaten in 5. So it's on in the Championship wherever you are. Like it's really like just every week, no matter who you play.
Coventry get beat in the penalties in the final.
Coventry. When?
This year, just gone. When it Coventry got beat in the final.
Yeah, it might have been. My memory's shocking, man. They got Mark from Take That. Mark Robbins is doing a good job at Coventry, mate. Real good job. I've got to say.
Coventry got beat in the final. Coventry against Luton.
Yeah, you think you were right. Yeah, it was, yeah. What do you play off, Matt? Because if you're playing off 30 odds, Rhodri won't even entertain.
I don't be playing with no hackers. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing with no army golfers. Left, right, left, right. No, not me. Straight down the middle. Bosh.
Reese says, is it a surprise that the rumours going around that players are unhappy living in Saudi Arabia and so many wanting out?
Well, most of them, some of them don't live in Saudi Arabia, live in neighbouring somewhere, but it's a desert. It doesn't matter how much money you get in, you live in a desert, but I'm sure you can pay for a nice place to live where you can have all the amenities and all the luxuries. But still live in a desert. It's dry air. It's not good for your skin.
Yeah. But do you think, like, from the Saudi point of view, where they're trying to build this league up, it's not the best look. It's not the look they want, is it? That all these players are jumping ship so quickly. Like they want the picture that,
Plus when you play in the Premier League, the best league in the world, and you go to this and there's like 800 people turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree, mate.
It's soul destroying.
And I think it's not like these guys are skinned to be going out there, is it? So
they get greedy, mate. They get greedy. They see the green, go out there, and don't do the research. Bear it out 2 years. Tell your family to go home. Go on, you go home. You'll be back in the summer. So you don't play in the summer because it'll be too hot.
Yeah, just send your family home and say, I'll be back in the summer. Let's just put up with it for a year.
Rent yourself a Gulfstream jet every weekend. Bosh, straight home.
I mean, they could, couldn't they?
Yeah, of course they could.
Because they're on such
it's only like travel. It's only like in the NFL, New York playing LA. Probably not even that. Probably even not even that far. Saudi Arabia, it's probably about 5-6 hours. Where that's like 8-9 hours, and they do it every week. So it's not.
I think, and this is just my opinion. I think some of the players, they've been handed the contract offers of 700 grand a week, 800 grand a week, all these, obscene figures, sign-on fee of 10 million, blah blah blah, and they've just gone, well, let's go, and they haven't thought about
Steven Gerrard's committed to it, so you're going to have people that they can't bear it. Then you're going to have the flip side that people do stay there and try and make go of it. So
at the end of the day, mate, when it's
pluses and minuses, isn't there? These big names still staying out there and happy to be the biggest name, Ronaldo. He's been out there
absolutely ecstatic, isn't he?
Yeah, so
I think, I think it's just.
You always have negative Nellies, aren't you?
Yeah.
And
if it was me,
you feed off that, don't you? You just love it.
I love it, mate. I love it.
No positive attitude. Come on, what about Steven Gerrard signing a new 2-year extension?
Exactly that. Steven Gerrard, one of the best managers in world football, up and coming managers. Steven Gerrard. He's one of the best up and coming managers in the game, mate. Tell you what, in 10 years, he will be the new Pep, winning everything. Better than Pep already. Where was Pep when he was at the same stage of his career?
What time is it? 9 o'clock, 25th of January. Si said Stephen Gerrard will be better than Pep.
Mate, you know what I think of Stephen Gerrard.
Definitely on the mushrooms. Go on.
I'm not having this conversation again. I think he was an overrated player, overrated manager. Just
overrated player? Don't be daft.
He is.
Don't be daft.
He's good, great player. I'm not saying he's rubbish. He's a great player, very good footballer, but I don't think he's in the same like upper echelons as some of the people who he gets compared to. Just my opinion.
Like who?
Scholes, Pirlo, Zidane, all these people who are top tier. He's not. That's all I mean. Is he's, in my opinion, he's not in that top tier, but he's in the one below. Nothing wrong with that.
I couldn't agree less.
I know you. It's fine. That's okay. And as a manager, he's absolutely shocking. Like, look at what Emery is doing with the same squad.
That's just experience. Look what he did with Rangers. So,
mate, I could win with Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah, but still, no, did well, turned it around. Yes, I agree. I do agree with that. Anyone could have done it, but he did it, and he did it well. So, but Villa did well at first, but then, yeah. Listen, Unai Emery is one of the top coaches in the world. So let's not get that twisted. So
absolutely,
he'll do that to any club that he goes into,
except Arsenal.
Well, he did well at Arsenal, but he didn't give enough time. Arguably, if you look at some of the Arsenal fans, they'd still go on about Unai Emery. They would still wish they still had him.
Yeah, so, they turned on him too quick, didn't they?
Yeah. But some of the fans still love him.
You reap what you sow, didn't you?
What?
You reap what you sow. And they thought the grass was greener. And look, Arteta's all right. Maybe it'll turn out the right thing. But like Villa, predominantly with the same squad now, fourth in the league. They're ahead of Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham, Everton. Like all these traditionally big, successful clubs in the Champions League. And Emery's got Villa above them all. They're level on points. They're joint second, basically, on points. This goal difference that separates them from second place. With predominantly the same squad that Steven Gerrard had, and they only just survived relegation. That's why Steven Gerrard is the best manager in world football, or he will be in not too long. He's just inexperienced, that's all.
Right, let's move on.
Let's have a look. Matthew didn't answer the question about his handicap. So I reckon he's playing off.
Matthew's an 18 handicapper.
No, I reckon he's playing off 25.
And he definitely pulls his trolley, not pushes it. If you pull your trolley, you're a numpty. Push it.
Pull, push. Okay, fair enough. Reece, it's too much pressure, I think, in Saudi Arabia. Imagine having to play in front of 470 fans, especially after someone, like Benzema, who's played in Champions League finals, and you're playing in front of 400 fans.
Just egos. That's all it is. I'd be like, you know what, I'm playing against 100, but you know what, I'm getting good money. Two years, knuckle down, let's get it done with. Boom, bosh.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. About him. Oh, come on. Just do it.
If someone wants to pay me like close to £1 million a week, I will go and do that for a year or 2 years.
Yeah.
Fly home and see the family. Because after that 2 years, you're like...
But they have to stay for a certain amount of time to reap the benefits of the taxes over there, though. So they get a lot more if they stayed for a lot longer. But they're stupid and they just want to come home.
Interesting.
Because, like, I'll reiterate, they're stupid. They're not doing research. They've just seen the money.
Yeah. I guess it's probably easy to do, and then when you see all those...
Dealing with footballers and not rocket science.
Yeah, and I guess as well, mate, it's like when you see all those zeros in front of you, it's
only natural. Anyone
course
would
it
do
is.
it, but don't bitch and whine about it if you don't like it. Do your research.
Yeah, prepare better, basically,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
There you go.
Take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank. UFC this weekend, my friend.
Really? I thought it was
Gonna
last
be
week.
belter. Yeah, there's more this weekend. Did you see the Arnold Allen fight with that? What was it, Zolioff or whatever his name is?
No.
Mate, it's absolutely pathetic. Arnold Allen should have won.
I've just remembered I've got some chocolate peanuts somewhere. Right.
You got to find them.
No,
As always, mate, a massive pleasure. We zip around and talk some football. I'll see you later, mate.
In a bit, mother.